And we begin tonight with breaking news. Multiple people have been rushed to the hospital after a shooting in Lakewood. The situation is unfolding at Harry Todd Park, which is near American Lake. Fire crews tell us they are there, and the scene is still very active. So thanks for joining us for the news at 10. I'm David Rose. Let's get right to it.
And I'm Sabir Rayford. Fox 13's Nia Wong, you've been out there on the scene for about an hour, and though details are limited, you spoke with a witness.
You know, based on what witnesses tell me, it was a very frightening scene out here not too long ago. But for the official details, joining me is Sergeant Porsche with Lakewood PD. So, Sergeant, what can you tell us about this scene?
Very hectic tonight. So, obviously, with kind of the second day of some really nice weather here for us, the park was very, very crowded this evening. And then we first got some phone calls just before 8 o'clock that shots have been fired down here.
Do you know how many people were shot? I mean, what led to this?
We do not know yet what led to it. So far, we've had reports of 7 victims. 5 of them were transported either from inside the park or just out here on the exterior, and the 2 others self-walked into the hospitals.
Okay, were they alive when you sent them to the hospital?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And
so when it comes to the scene over here, I can see investigators still actively working to find out whatever they can. Have any arrests been made tonight?
No, there hasn't been any suspects identified yet.
Okay. How long is your crew going to be out here investigating, and what else should the public know at this point?
So right now I don't know a solid time on how long they're going to be here. Most of the investigators have just shortly arrived, so it's going to take whatever time for them to process the scenes out here, and then they'll start doing some interviews and whatnot. So it'll probably be a few hours before they're done. And then as far as the public, we're doing everything that we can to find out who was involved in this. We don't believe right now that there's any other concerns for the general community, but we're going to do, like I said, everything that we can to hunt down these folks.
Okay. And before we go, I understand that, these victims were sent to the hospital alive, but can you tell us a little bit more about their conditions?
I don't know a ton about them. I know that 3 of the 5 that were transported from here were in critical condition, but it sounds like a lot of that was because of where they were shot and the abundance of care that it could potentially take to make sure that they survive and that they're okay. But everybody, as far as I know, does not have immediate life-threatening concerns.
Okay, Sergeant Porsche, thank you so much for taking time during this investigation to speak with us. Coming up at 10:30, we're going to hear more from that witness I told you about earlier. For now, live in Lakewood, Nia Wong, Fox 13 News.